know in the chat right now. I had to finish the post for today. I had to publish it on Instagram as well. That's why the delay was happening. Can you guys hear me? Let me know in the chat before we proceed further. But I'm super excited for today's live. I've got a lot of surprises coming and I've got a lot of cool features that I will be elaborating on for the future of marketing, Harry, for the future of growth in general. And I do plan on making profile audits during this live, as well as covering some of the questions that you guys might be having for growth on Instagram. So I'm super psyched about this live session and I cannot wait to dive straight into the value. I also will be doing giveaways, but more on that later on when people start joining in. Hey. So happy to see you guys here. Hello, 𝗨𝗂𝗧𝗂𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧 can see more and more people joining in, so we will dive straight into the value just in a few moments. Thank you for your patience. Meanwhile, if you have any questions for me, we can go ahead and start answering them. Hello, Stanislav. Great meeting you. Thank you, 𝗨𝗀𝗂𝗧𝗂. Thank you. So as mentioned, if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the live chat right now before not too many people start putting it in. And as mentioned, I will also be making page audits during this live. I will be giving away consultations. I will be answering all of your questions. So this live should be pretty exciting. Really glad that you loved my ebook, by the way. Stanisław, I do have I do have reels and I do have music. So it probably is something which is device specific, because I have been in contact with other Bulgarians as well, and they have reels as well. So make sure your Instagram app is updated, and also make sure that your device can handle reels as well. Yes, I do provide one-on-one mentorship for Instagram. You can DM me after the live and I can share with you my rates. I do remember who you are, 𝗨𝗀𝗂𝗧𝗂. I see that some questions are starting to roll out. That's great. I will start answering them one by one, and when a bit more people start joining in about 5 minutes, we will begin with the profile audits as well. We will begin with some of the giveaways, so stay tuned for that. So how to start with a professional looking design of an Instagram page. So the first thing when you're crafting your Instagram visual identity is to not be perfect. I just did a post on this actually on my Instagram feed, and I looked back at my previous posts and they were garbage. At that moment I was thinking, okay, this post is pretty good, but the reality is that your content, your visual identity will evolve with time. That's normal. That's why don't bother trying to perfect everything. On the other hand, be super focused about what your end goal is, be super focused about who your audience is, be clear on what your competitors are doing, and then utilizing this information, try to make each and every post better than the last one. But don't aim for perfect, don't aim for something which will look professional, because with time, your definition of perfect, your definition of professional will change. So that's my best advice. Thank you so much, Hina, for the nice comment. I'm really glad that you enjoy my content. In terms of YouTube algorithms and how they promote videos, yes, YouTube needs a little bit of time in order to see and evaluate your videos. So they usually promote your videos. They can promote your videos months after you publish them. So that's true. Best strategy to grow for a photographer starting new on Instagram. Sahu, I recommend you finding other curation pages. There are a ton of curation pages for photography on Instagram, and getting in contact with them, offering them some of your content exclusively, and letting them know that they can use it if they link back to you. That's one of the best strategies to grow for photography accounts. The other one might be if you are into educational content and you want to educate other photographers, you can do reels. educational photography reels are really popular right now. So these are two strategies that you can use. How to create our brand awareness and reach more people organically fast. The best way to create brand awareness and grow on Instagram fast is by giving the kind of engagement you're looking to receive. So if you are looking for brand awareness, then start building brand awareness for other people by engaging with their content, by interacting with them. That's the best strategy. Hey Mois, in terms of the call to actions in my posts, I usually have one primary call to action, which is usually the call to action which is on slide 10 of my carousels. And in the captions, I actually have more than 3 or 4 call to actions. I have one primary call to action, which I marked with red emoji. And then I have other call to actions which act as a footer to my post. So if anyone wants to read more from me, that's where they can find me. But the primary call to action is connected to the post, and I usually keep it only one to one. Thank you so much for the great questions, by the way, guys. I will be answering questions for 4 more minutes. So if you have any questions, leave them in the chat right now. Afterwards, we will dive into the profile audits. Okay. Should you be worried if you have over 1,000 followers, but your average likes are 50 and comments 20? That usually is a lower engagement rate, especially for an account which is around 1,000 followers. I would aim to give more engagement, to engage more with this specific account in other communities around Instagram in order to get that engagement rate a little bit higher for my liking. I use Photoshop to create my carousels, most of my single images for Instagram, and I also utilize Adobe Premiere Pro for my videos on YouTube. Getting hashtags right, especially as beginners, is hella tricky. So first, based on your content types, so if you create carousels, hashtags, you can pretty much forget about them. But if you create reels and if you create single images, then you can truly utilize hashtags to the best of that ability. So in terms of hashtags, first start by identifying, because you're a new account, smaller hashtags which don't really have that high barrier to entry in terms of how many likes rank up your posts on the top hashtags. So look for those hashtags which are relatively smaller, and then also make sure that these hashtags don't really have a lot of competition in terms of daily posts made on them. And for that, I actually have a YouTube video and a tutorial on Instagram, so you can go check them out. I use FlickTech for my hashtags, which give me all the information I need pretty fast. Yes, you can definitely make a living with Instagram and YouTube, but you need a good business model as well. So for example, Instagram, YouTube, social media in general, these are tools to generate attention. But at the end of the day, this attention on its own doesn't bring you money. What brings you money is how you monetize it through your business models. So for example, I have attention building from Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, my newsletter, Pinterest, TikTok, these platforms in which I am curating content or I'm posting original content on are bringing me attention. But I'm using that attention for my social media agency, which I run, for my coaching programs, which I run, and that's how I make money, not specifically through Instagram or not specifically through YouTube, even though monetization on Instagram is coming, and even though YouTube also has monetizational platforms. The best time to create a team page was when Instagram started. The next best time is right now. I was in the same mental model as you are, 𝗨𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀. I hope that I'm pronouncing your name right. I was waiting for 5 months before I began my Instagram personal brand. I thought, okay, this might not be the best time. I will wait a little bit. I will make sure that everything is perfect. And that moment never came. So at one afternoon, I remember I left a comment on an Instagram profile, and he challenged me basically to start posting, to start experimenting with my content to just get out there. So I definitely recommend the same thing for you. FlickTech is paid, but there is 7-day free trials, which is plenty for the research of hashtags, and then you can cancel. 𝗨𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂, you left a really great question. A post with no value addition or no post for a day on the days you are out of content. You need to be thinking about this from the perspective of your audience, because oftentimes us content creators are super hard on ourselves in terms of, is this post valuable or not? But the reality is that the final audit is done by our audience, not by ourselves. So you need to understand that value is subjective. To me, it might be super valuable. To you, it might not be valuable at all. So if it's not valuable at all for your audience, then don't post it. Move on. You don't have to post daily in order to succeed on Instagram. Okay, guys, we will dive straight into the profile audits. But before we do that, give me 1 second and I will get my setup ready, and then we are going to be dropping in profile audits. I will let you guys know how you can qualify for profile audits. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, definitely you can make 10,000 per month utilizing social media marketing. My agency is doing far above 10,000 per month using social media, so that's an actionable goal. The tips are, if you're going to be targeting clients and providing services for clients, there is a great quote by Ogilvy, which is, if you'd like more work, focus on the work you have on your desk. Make sure that that work is the highest quality it possibly can. I am back. Sorry for the delay, everybody. And right now we are going to be diving straight into the profile audits, as I promised. Again, sorry for the delay. Happy to have people who are back at the live right now. Let's get into the profile audits. So the way that the profile audits are going to be coming into fruition are by you leaving your usernames as soon as I say that the profile audits will begin. So the basis is first come, first serve, meaning the first people who leave their accounts inside of the chat after I say that you should start leaving your accounts will get profile audits. Last time we managed to get around 10 people audited. This time I hope that we can do a little bit more. So after I say go, you can start leaving your usernames and we can start the profile audits. But before that, let me know, guys, can you hear me fine? Are you ready to start the profile audits? Let me know in the chat right now and we will begin. Okay, I got confirmation. You guys can hear me. We can start the profile audits. 3, 2, 1, go. The next people who leave their handle in the chat will get their accounts audited. Okay. The first one was Mindset Mentor MT. And I will be flipping my account. Okay. Let's make it visible to everyone in the chat. Okay. So this is the first person who is going to be getting an audit. Now, the first thing that I'm noticing is that the handle is super long. So even after you left it in the YouTube chat, for me, it was super hard to type it in and find who you are. So I would play a little bit around with your handle. I really like that you have keywords. Mindset is a strong keyword, but what I don't like is the length and the fact that you had to use symbols. So I might keep mindset, that's a must. And at the same time, I might actually give my full name. So right now, Mr. Chi, it's building curiosity. It's nice in that regard. But on the other hand, it's not really personal. So I would keep the keywords for sure, but at the same time I would be super careful with this, what you're using, and try to be a little bit more personal. So if your name, let's say, is Tyrone, just for an example, You could say mindset 𝗨𝘀𝗧𝗧 or something similar. It would be shorter and it would be way more effective in terms of a handle. Right now, it's a little bit too long. The next thing which comes to mind is you are repeating your handle in your headline, which isn't effective. You're basically wasting space. So mindset as a headline is okay. I would still keep that, but I would find another word to substitute mentor, something which has more keyword intensity, something which people are searching for more. So I'm 100% sure that people are searching for mindset coaches far more than mindset mentors. So I would probably do this: mindset coach, mindset mentor. And you can do, you can analyze this, yeah, only 3 people. You can analyze this through Google Analytics, see which keywords have more searchability, and then use these keywords in your headline, because at the end of the day, your headline is searchable as well. So you have to make sure that that is optimized. Now, in terms of your bio, I built your discipline and mindset backed up by science, mindset and discipline. Again, this is a repetition. I would get rid of it. The call to action. Let's begin with the call to action. I think that the call to action is far too unclear. So you're not saying exactly how you're going to be taking me there. So you're giving me benefits, how I can be, how can I improve utilizing you, but you're not saying how you can help me directly. So what I would do is say, DM me and let's get you there. So I would say exactly what I would do. So DMing you, we will have a conversation and then you can help me out. So I would change the call to action. This is okay. I've built your discipline and mindset. I like that you focus on me, backed up by science. This is okay as well as the social proof element. You are a relatively small account, so I would play around with social proofs a little bit more. But in terms of your bio, this is right around it. I want to check your link in bio as well. Okay. So in this case, first, access denied. This shouldn't be happening. But in case you're using Linktree, make sure that you have a reason for that. In the case in which you are, there is no reason for you to use a Linktree account and make me press 2 times. So first I have to open Linktree and then I have to press this in order to get to this. So you are making people quit in the middle of their journey because you're overcomplicating it. That's why I want you to actually focus on making it as clear as possible. So this Linktree, you can either get rid of it and don't have a website at all, because at the moment I don't see why you need a website, or you need to make it super clear. So this is my feedback for you. Now, in terms of content, I would like to see a little bit more of a variety in terms of the templates that you're utilizing. As of right now, I can see that you're using pretty much the same background for everything, and with some imagery it fits perfectly. For example, this vote, but on the other hand, this background with this style, with this image of a small girl, for me it doesn't fit. So I would like to see a larger variety, and that's about it for your profile audit. There are a lot of things that I can take a look at as well. For example, your alternate feeds, you don't have guides, which you can definitely take advantage of. You don't have reels, which you can definitely take advantage of. Your highlights aren't optimized, but for now, these are the most important things that I want you to look at. So these are how the profile audits are going to be going. We're going to be making them fast. We're going to be making them super in-depth. So I hope that you guys are enjoying this and find value. No need to spam the chat. The people who are going to be getting profile audits are going to be based on when they left their handle in the chat. So be patient. And at the end of this live, I will also be making a profile audit based on how or likely are you to benefit from it. So I will be playing a little game with you guys in order to see who will be getting a profile audit. So even if you have joined late, you will have a chance to get a profile audit. Don't worry about that. If you're enjoying the live thus far, hit it a little like so more people can see it. Okay, the next person who we are going to be revealing is Ashok pubg. Let me search for him. pubg. Okay, this is the profile. Okay, so I presume that this is a team page which is about PUBG content. Now, if this is a team page which is about PUBG content, I would like to see the handle being relevant to PUBG a little bit more. So this definitely needs to be changed. The handle is okay. You have PUBG, which is a keyword, but this first part for me doesn't say anything. It doesn't build a brand. It has a symbol. For me, there are definitely better handles for PUBG content out there, and you can play around with that. Your headline right now it's fucking useless, so you can change that for sure, because by doing so you will get more traffic coming in. Your headline is searchable. So for example, when I type in marketing Harry right now in the search bar, as you can see, my headline, which is Brave Social Media Marketing, pops up. That's why headlines are so important. That's why you need to make sure your headline is keyword intensive. So in this case, I would definitely play around with your headline, use some of the keywords, so PUBG, PUBG content, PUBG gameplay, something that a user is likely to search. My effort source, entertainment. The biggest mistake here is my efforts. Nobody cares about your efforts, especially with team pages. People are focused on them, so you need to focus on them as well. So let them know what are the benefits of following you, similar to what the previous account that we audited did with mentorship. He was focused on us. He was helping us build discipline. So in this case, you should be focused on your audience in your bio as well. The same thing for your call to action. Let me know what I am going to be getting out of subscribing to. So this is my feedback in terms of your bio. I definitely think that you can work on your bio a lot more. In terms of your content, to be honest, I think that your content seems really engaging. I haven't watched it, but from what I can see, it definitely seems engaging. Now, something which stands out to me is the fact that your content is repurposed. It is probably taken from YouTube and repurposed without making sure that the size of your content is relevant to Instagram. So in this case, I would definitely make sure that my content looks good first on Instagram, because you're posting on Instagram and trying to grow your Instagram. And right now, I don't see you putting in that much effort in making sure that your content is optimized for Instagram, which is 1-to-1 ratio in terms of size, and making sure that your text is in the middle and doesn't get cut when people are looking at your page. So I definitely think that you can be playing around with your content a little bit more in order to optimize it for Instagram, because you want to grow on Instagram. And I would put more effort in my highlights, put a cover on your highlights. You can do that, make them fit with your feed. I think that this can help a lot. Okay. I can see that someone is saying that my audio isn't clear. Let me know in the chat, guys, and I will try to improve as much as possible. Now, the next people who left their username right after I said is 𝗨𝗲𝗳𝗂𝗧𝗧. 𝗨𝗲𝗳𝗧𝗧. Before we continue, I would like to get a verification if my audio is clear. So let me know in the chat right now. Do you guys hear me correctly? Would you like to change my headset and try with that? Let me know. Okay, audio is perfect. Yeah, okay. So my audio seems to be clear. With Kaxo, I recommend you trying to play around with your settings, turning up the volume a little bit. I haven't missed anyone's profile. I can assure you I'm watching the profiles come based on when I said that I'm going to be taking profile audits. So make sure that you guys are patient. I will get to you. And as mentioned, towards the end of this live, I will also be playing around with getting games in, so you guys can have an ability to get your profile audited even if you have came up late. So be patient and we will get to you. So the next person, as mentioned, was 𝗨𝗲𝗳𝗂𝗧𝗧. Daniel, IG Growth. So 𝗨𝗲𝗳𝗧𝗧, I believe that this might be the name of your agency, which is okay, but the place for your handle isn't to be for the place of putting your name of agency isn't in the handle. Why? Because your handle is one of the most important elements in terms of search optimization on Instagram. So your handle is visible. Handle branding, for example, marketing. If I type in marketing, people who have handles which are relevant to marketing or have headlines which are relevant to marketing are going to be showing up. So your headline is searchable and your handle is also searchable. That's why I don't really recommend you placing your brand name inside of your handle. You can definitely use that space in the handle to make it more searchable, to make it better in that case. If this is a bigger brand, then things change. But because you're still growing, not many people know who 𝗨𝗀𝗲𝗂𝗧 is in terms of brand, in terms of agency. I would be careful with this. Now, in terms of your headline, IG growth, that's a strong keyword, Daniel, so people know who you are, who the person behind the account is. This is great. I believe that you have more characters that you can use though. So IG growth and marketing, something like that. If you add another word, if you have characters, of course, and I do think that you have more characters, can be beneficial. In terms of your bio, tap to start your success story. I really like this call to action. It is clear, it is direct. You tell me what it is for me, so I quite like that. Tune in for free value being posted daily. This second line is really good as well. You let me know what I can expect. So daily post, free value. I really like this. Now, what I don't like is tune in, this call to action. What exactly would you like me to do? Would you like me to follow you? Would you like me to engage with your content? What exactly would you like me to do with tuning in? So especially for non-native speakers, this might not be clear. I would clarify this and make sure that it is on point. Also, if it's a follow, if you want people to follow you, then there is a battle between your call to actions. You want people to tap to start their success story. You also want them to follow you. Which one is it? Which one is the priority? So I would clarify my call to actions. And if this isn't a call to action, then there is no point in saying it, no point in wasting space. You can focus on the benefits for the users. Learn how to hit the bullseye on Instagram. I quite like this. It's unique. Now, does it have anything to do with your brand? That might elevate your first line in bio a little bit more. For example, with my profile on Instagram, you can see that I'm utilizing words which play really well off my brand, which is 𝗶𝗟 social media marketing. I'm utilizing red colors. I'm utilizing more aggressive style, bold style. So I'm using dominate as a keyword. I'm using crush as a keyword, roar. So these are more aggressive in terms of style. So I would definitely play a little bit around with this as well, because right now, learn how to hit the bullseye on Instagram, it's a little too generic. It doesn't really tell me anything. I like the colors that you are using for your highlights, something that the previous account could have improved. I like that you're utilizing Instagram Reels. I can see that you are getting success with them. What I can see clearly is that you still haven't perfected your visual identity. So I can see that you are utilizing vector characters. I can see that you're utilizing some real photos here. You're utilizing another free photo, real photo here. So I would really dive deep on what my brand is about and make sure that my visual identity represents that. In my case, I'm only using real characters, real images. In the case of 𝗨𝘀𝗲𝗳𝘀 Academy, because I think that you're getting a lot of inspiration from 𝗨𝘀𝗲𝗳𝗀 Academy. They are only utilizing vectors, as you can see, only vectors, similar styles vectors as well. So get clear on your visual identity as well. This is my feedback. Let's move on to the next profile. I hope that you guys are finding this profile audits helpful. If you have any questions, follow-up questions based on what I am saying right now, you can DM me on Instagram and we can clarify them. So let's see who the next person who left their account was. And afterwards, I'm going to be making a little game so you guys can, the guys who have been tuning in a little later, can also find value and can get their account audited. Okay. Okay, so the next account is 𝗨𝗀𝗂𝗧. Really edgy account name. Quite like it. Now, 𝗨𝘀𝗀𝗃, who is into editing, has a handle which is 𝗨𝗀𝗂𝗧. So I definitely think that you guys are starting to see a pattern now. In this case, I think that your handle can definitely be improved in order to fit what you are bringing to your followers. So you have 55,000 followers. It is harder to rebrand when you already have a following, but I definitely think that it would be helpful in the future to have a handle which first doesn't have symbols and secondly represents what you're bringing. So you're bringing editing, education, you are a digital marketer by profession. So I will make sure to make my handle fit everything else on my profile. I would make sure that there is cohesiveness between my handle and my headline and my bio and the content I share. This is super important. That way you reduce the mental strain that is put on a person who is seeing your account for the first time. So this is definitely something which I would improve. Also, because you are doing a lot of Lightroom edits, I would try to utilize this in my profile picture, so I just represent it. So I would look for creative ways to either edit my profile picture in order to highlight what I'm doing. So you can, for example, break your photo into two segments. One segment unedited, the other segment edited. I think that this is a really clever way to bring more attention to what you are doing and again, to bring that cohesiveness in. Now, in terms of your bio, you're doing a lot of things right. You're also doing a lot of things wrong. You are saying a lot about yourself, little about what your audience is going to be receiving. So if we can take an inspiration from the previous account that we reviewed, he said exactly what he is going to be helping people with, hitting the bullseye on Instagram. You can definitely do something similar, especially with the first line. Then in the second line, you can bring a little bit of social proof and information about yourself. So journalist by education, digital marketer by profession, you can use this. And then the last thing that you definitely must have is a call to action. So what would you like people to do? Follow you, DM me for Lightroom projects. What exactly would you like people to do? That's a huge missed opportunity in your case. In terms of your content, I really like it, Jude. You are doing something which you found what works for you and you are persistent with that. I really like that. I respect that. What I don't like is your captions. Yeah, your captions are super bland. They don't have any juice inside of them. They're just one-liners. It seems a little bit lazy to me. So I would definitely play around with your captions a little bit more and make sure that they represent the post, because captions are also searchable. Instagram is starting to filter these captions and to search for information in the captions. So if you have keywords in your captions, that helps a lot. So you can use call to actions as 𝗨𝗀𝗃 Academy is doing right here. He's also talking a little bit more about the post, sharing extra value. So this is something, again, that you can be utilizing in your captions. It's a huge missed opportunity, in my opinion. And I would also like to see how you are doing with your reels, because reels for your type of accounts are really, really powerful. You're doing tutorials. Yeah, tutorials work great. So in this case, I think that you are using reels to the best of their ability. I would probably try to use more reels, because right now I can see that you're using carousels. I would probably do one reel, one carousel, one reel, or I would do two carousels, one reel. That way your feed will still look good, but at the same time you will be utilizing this power the power of reels. So this is my feedback for you. Okay, let's see who is the next person in a line, and I will write him down. Meanwhile, I want you guys to leave in the chat why would you like to get a profile audit and how exactly this would help you. I will review the comments and I will give an opportunity for someone who hasn't left his handle first to get a profile audit as well, because I definitely think that this can be helpful to a lot of people. Hello, Anki. Great to meet you. So leave in the chat one sentence, two sentences, why you would like a profile audit and how this would help you, and I will review your account. So let me see who the next person in line was. Finance with Whilst I am searching for the next person to review from the chat, I would like you guys to continue leaving your comments on why we would like a review and how that would help you. I will be doing this profile audit, and then the next one would be picked based on your comments. Hello, Jeremy. So nice to see you here. Hello, Anki, once again. Okay. So finance with was the next person. Let's start with the profile picture. I quite like that you have used your colors, really nice. What I think can be taken a little better in terms of your profile picture, I would add another element, probably a drop shadow, just to separate you from the background a little bit more, because the contrast light right now is a little too harsh. So I would definitely play around with your profile picture just a tad bit more. Now, in terms of your headline, you're using your first name, you're using a keyword, that's great, good job. I would probably search for other keywords as well, which I can play around with inside of my keyword, because right now, finance, that's a little too broad in my perspective. So I would definitely try to hone down on the keywords a tad bit more. In terms of your bio, click the link to get financial freedom. This again is a really nice call to action in terms of clarity. You're telling me exactly what I need to do, and you're telling me exactly what I would get. That's great. Now, in terms of the rest of your bio, let's see if we can improve it a tad bit more and see how exactly we can format it. Simplifying finance and investing. This is a really strong USP. I like it. Now let's see how you move to the second line. I educate people about finance and investing through my posts. Okay. You have said thus far that you are simplifying finance and investing. You have said that you are into the finance space. Your handle is saying that you're into the finance space as well. But this second line, I believe, can be improved, because right now it doesn't flow with the rest of your profile. And right now it doesn't have as much punch and as much value as everything else. So I would probably focus on exactly how you're simplifying finance and investing for me. So I would say something like, learn finance with a few daily posts, or with a daily post, or with learn finance with a daily post by me, something similar, which is playing off the simplification insight that you have captured. So many people think that finance and investing is too hard, so you have captured an insight, but I would give further context on exactly how you are helping simplify this for me. The highlights, I really like. Good job on the highlights. They seem to be similar style. They are using your brand colors. I quite like that. Good job on that. Now, in terms of your posts, you have only made 9 posts, so it's still too early, but you still are searching for your visual identity. And it shows these posts right here, these first 4 posts, they don't have anything to do with your current visual identity. And this is a problem. So I would, again, understand exactly what my audience is searching for, understand what my competitors are doing, and then try to find a gap. So how does these posts fit your current positioning is beyond me. So I would try to understand my audience, my competitors, and then try to create a visual identity which fits in the gap. So in my opinion, you can definitely improve your visual identity, be a little bit more consistent with them. Okay. So this was my feedback for you all. I hope that this was helpful. Let's look at why people want a profile audit based on the comments in the chat, and I will review them. Okay. So I can help my client grow by giving me a strong ID strategy and giving me insight and perspective to help a lot of experience. Okay. Pat, give me a second. I'm still reading them. Okay. So let's focus on the account which 𝗨𝗀𝗂𝗪𝗀 shared with us. And afterwards, we will continue with the rest. Yes, I'm seeing you, 𝗨𝗀𝗂𝗧𝗂. Please have patience. I will get to your profile as well if we have time. Okay, I'm searching for your handle right now, 𝗨𝗀𝗂𝗧𝗂. Give me a second and we will review your profile. Okay. Your handle is Andrewa. Okay. I've opened your profile right now. Now, in terms of your handle, it's really long. I would try to reduce it in terms of symbols. I would either focus only on the last name or get rid of the last name and only focus on Andrewa and then have a keyword which is relevant to what she's doing. So I would definitely try to reduce the handle. It's too long in my perspective. It's only focused on Andrewa. So this is something which I'd be super careful with. Another thing, the headline, it's repeating the handle, which is wasted opportunities. So I would try to make this headline stand out on its own, have keywords on its own, which will attract attention. So again, headline, missed opportunity. Now, in terms of the bio, let's start with the call to action. Get started. Get started with what exactly? Where are you going to be taking me with this link? And what is the benefit for me? What is it for me? Those are the two questions that you need to answer in your call to actions when they're pointing to a link. So in this case, it's too broad. It doesn't let me know where you're going to be taking me or what is it for me. So I think that you can improve it for sure. Now, in terms of the rest of your bio, Kingdom Chamber of Commerce, Kingdom Business School, 𝗨𝗂𝗧𝗂𝗧 Marketing, Call to Greatness. You're mentioning a lot of things, but you're not saying much, if this makes sense. So you're not really playing off exactly what's the benefit and what can I learn in this profile, which is a huge wasted opportunity once again. So when I'm looking at this profile right now, probably the only thing that I wouldn't change is the profile picture. Everything else needs improvement. Abhishek, I will get back to the Q reviews in a second. Right now, I'm reviewing based on the comments. Be patient, I will get to you. Now, in terms of the posts, to me, these posts are true. So in terms of value, they're true, but useless content. Yes, you had a Clubhouse meeting. This is a promotional post. Yes, you had a Clubhouse meeting. Yes, this is your book, but these posts aren't really bringing me any value as a user. Why should I be looking at your content? Why should I be engaging with your content if they are all about you and not me? So this is the number one mistake most people are making on Instagram in terms of content. They're not really sharing content which is relevant to their target audience. So first identify who your target audience is, identify what their problems are, and then try to solve them in your content. This is content marketing. Everything else is promotion. And right now you're doing a lot of promotion and really less of content marketing. So this is my feedback based on your profile. Again, these reviews are super blunt. I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything. I'm trying to be super helpful to you guys. So apologies for the harsh language. Hope that you understand and hope that this is helpful. I will be reviewing a few more profiles, after which I will be doing a Q&A session. So make sure you guys are tuning in for that and staying patient. I will get to the people who are in the queue right now. Also, I will be doing profile audits in the future as well on my YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed, you can do that right now. And afterwards, we can be doing a Q&A. Okay. Let's see who the next person in the queue was. Okay, give me a second, guys. That's my Pakistan. Okay, this was the next person in the queue. In terms of your profile picture, for logo profile picture, it's okay. Usually I don't recommend people to use typography in their logos, in their profile pictures, because when it scales down, for example, in this size, it meshes. It doesn't really look good. In comments, it's even worse. So I would be careful with your profile picture and placing typography. Right now, I think that it's okay. Now, in terms of your content, I know a lot of team pages are doing something similar. It can work. I think that you can bring more visual differences in your posts and play around more with, for example, you can be focusing on stories about Pakistan, not only these bland templates which you are using right now. So I would play a little bit more with my content. This content type that you're using can work, but you need differences as well. You need a little bit of change. So this is my feedback in terms of your content. In terms of the highlights, there definitely can be more information here, not only one highlight, which is questions. I presume you're doing Q&As, which is a great way to engage your audience in stories, but more highlights can be beneficial. Presenting positive Pakistan. This is a really nice slogan, but the place isn't, that slogan isn't in the headline. I would definitely play a little bit more with the headline, make sure that it is searchable. So right now, the only keyword which is searchable is Pakistan. So I would focus, probably my headline would be Pakistan news about Pakistan, something which is more searchable and has more keywords. So your profile can be found by more people interested in that. In terms of the bio, this is probably the biggest thing that I want you guys to be focusing on when you're optimizing your profiles, because yes, the profile picture, you can make mistakes with it, but it's not that painful, it's not that hard to fix. The headline again, the headline again, you can make mistakes, but they're not that deadly. Your handle as well, but your bios, there is a lot of room to fuck up. And this is an example of a bio which I would definitely be redoing from the get-go. Oops. First, you have two call to actions. Hit the follow button and join me. These are two call to actions. Also, you're utilizing a language which I don't think fits your audience. You're using a lot of emojis, which are, in my point of view, for a news website or a news team page. Not the best case. You need to be bland, and you need to be super careful for your visual identity, because everyone who is interested in Pakistan will be consuming your content, not only teenagers from Pakistan. So I would definitely be super careful with what kind of visual identity and what kind of tone of voice you're using, and emojis, they're part of the tone of voice. Right now you are making a team page which is more relevant to a teenager rather than someone who is in general interested in Pakistan. So I would be careful with the emojis that you utilize and the words that you're utilizing. I'm not a big fan of any of this which you are utilizing in your bio. So welcome to my kingdom. This is, again, you can bullshit, you can remove this, you can remove this, you can focus on your mission, which is to show the positive side of Pakistan. This is great. You can make this the first line, and then you can make in the second line a little bit more about the content that your audience can be expecting. So stories from Pakistan, facts about Pakistan. So learn everything about Pakistan. This can be the second line. And then the third line is your call to action. Make it one call to action. Hit that follow button to learn more about Pakistan, for example. This is my feedback for your profile. So I will be doing probably two more profile audits. Again, one of them would be based on the queue that we did. So the first come first serve basis, and then the other one would be based on your comments. So if you still haven't gotten your account reviewed, please leave a message with why you would like me to review your account, how it will help you, and your account handle. I will pick one person from the messages, and I will pick one person from the reviews and from the people who have left their comments in the chat. Okay. Okay, so the next account was Startup Leader. Okay, this is the next profile audit, Startup Leader. Again, I will be making this audit. After this audit, the people who still haven't gotten a chance, I will pick one person who has left a comment, and I will review your account. Again, make sure you include your handle, make sure you include why you would like me to review your account and how that will help you. So let's dive in the next profile audit. Afterwards, we are going to be doing a Q&A session, by the way. So if you guys have any questions which I haven't answered, you can stay for that, and I will do my best to answer them. Okay. Startup leader. Okay. Your handle, your profile picture, they are cohesive. Again, typography inside of a profile picture, I would stay away from. As you can see in this size, I cannot read anything. So I would probably have some kind of icons, which I will be placing rather than my typography inside of the profile picture. This is the first thing. Now, the biggest problem I'm seeing right now is that your handle is related to one thing, startups. Your profile picture is related to one thing, startups, and then your headline and your bio are related to Instagram growth. So for me, as someone who is seeing your profile for the first time, it doesn't make any sense. So I would unify them. If you're going to be teaching people about startups, how to make money through startups, how to build a business as a startup, then make everything, including your content related to startups. But then if you're going to be teaching people about Instagram, make everything, including your handle, including your profile picture related to Instagram. Right now, I think that you're trying to do too many things. Now, in terms of the bio, the call to action should be last. So this should be your third line. The social proof, which is 45 clients making money from Instagram, this should be the second line. So just change the lines. Be careful with the emojis. Here you have 2 emojis. Here you only have 1 emoji each. This, again, third emoji in your link. So I would be careful. And I would make sure that the last line, which is this social proof line, fits the bill with the rest. So be careful with the emojis. Make this the second line, make this the third line. This is in terms of your bio. This line first, this first line for me is useless. It's okay that you're bringing people to your page, but again, it doesn't bring any value to the user. So I would remove that. And because it's the first thing most people read, it's even more harmful to your account than you can think. I like the fact that you have highlights which are following your style. I think that you have a little bit too many highlights. So usually I would stick with 5 highlights maximum, making the first highlight the most important one. Because usually people only see the first highlight or the first 3 highlights, and they definitely don't see more than 5 highlights. So I would stick to 5 highlights. I really like that you utilize different types of content. You have guides, you have reels, you have IGTV. That's good. Great job on this. In terms of your visual identity, you are cohesive, you are changing it up. You're not only making these types of posts, you also have Gs which are more visually intensive. This is something which we mentioned for the previous profile audit, that you needed to do this. This is an example of how you can do this. The captions are well written from what I can see. Yeah, so this is my feedback. It's mainly about your profile, not so much about your content. You seem to be knowing what you're doing in terms of your content, but your highlights, your bio, your positioning in general, this can use some, definitely use some help. So there is time for one more profile audit, again, based on the comments that you guys have left me in the chat. And then we are going to be doing some Q&As. So again, if you haven't had the time to get a profile audit, if you hadn't had the chance, I will be doing more of these live sessions, so you have that opportunity, and you will also can draw value from the Q&A later on. So make sure you stay till the end and prepare your questions. Okay. Be a game changer. Okay. Okay. I will be reviewing overseas students, Australia, this account. Students, Australia. Of course, I hope I can find it. Yes, I found it. Okay. Now, starting with the handle, I get that your brand name is Overseas Students of Australia, but this is one wrong handle, which I would be super careful with. It's super hard to write, it's super hard to remember, and it doesn't fit the placement of a highlight. So be careful with your handle, change it, shorten it up, you can use something which are similar to OS Australia, something like that. So basically using acronyms for the first two words, and then the keyword, which is Australia, making it the only full word. But I would be super careful with your handle. Now, if you don't want anyone else taking your handle, you can create another account, take that handle with that account, but and leave it on so no one else can use the handle. But inside of the main account which you want to grow, make the handle short and sweet. Now, in terms of the bio, this is probably the thing that needs the most work. Highlight is okay. You have study in Australia, which I think is a keyword, 𝗨𝗀𝗳𝗂𝗹 keyword, so that's okay. You have your repetition of your brand, but an acronym for that, that's okay. So I know exactly what the profile picture is. So in that case, I wouldn't change the headline, it's okay. But the bio needs a lot of work. Now, the call to action, super vague, more here. What will I find here exactly? And you weren't joking, there is a lot that they can find here, but first, be careful with these links. So many links are distracting. Make it 5 links maximum. The first link is the most important, the other 4 should be supporting. So 5 links maximum. And inside of your bio, let me know exactly what I'm going to be receiving when I click that link. You can say something like, download free resources about overseas students in Australia, or free resources about overseas students in Australia, or free guides about overseas students in Australia. Or if you have questions about studying in Australia, click here. So make the call to action really transparent. Let me know what I'm going to be receiving. Now, this is the call to action. It needs some work. Branded hashtag, I wouldn't put it in the handle. I would put in the bio. I would put it in the highlights. The rest, information for international students in Australia, this should be the first line, and that's the changes that I would make to that. Here, of course, studying, working, living in Australia, this, in the way you formatted it, I'm definitely not a fan of. So I would be super careful how you format your bios, not to take too much space, not to be too difficult to read, just the right amount of space. In this case, I definitely think that you can synthesize these 4 lines into 1 line and make it something similar to everything you would need as a student in Australia, as an overseas student in Australia. This can be your second line, or just courses, studying, working, living in Australia. Make this 1 line. Don't break it up like this. That's my feedback for your bio. I like the fact that you have highlights which are branded, but I don't like the fact that you have some random highlights here as well without no covers. Again, highlights, 5 highlights maximum. The first highlight is the most important, so make sure that this positioning of your highlights resonates that. You can change the positioning by adding a new story to that highlight. So I would be super careful with the highlights that you are utilizing. Now, in terms of your content, I really like what you are doing in terms of imagery. That's showcasing Australia. The captions should be matching. Yes, they're matching. You're going to be drawing a lot of hashtag traffic with these kinds of content. Now, the other part which you are missing is information for international students. So I think that with your type of account, carousels can work really well. So if you do educational carousels, which are answering questions that international students in Australia might have, this would be super helpful. And these carousels can go viral. Now, in terms of the Reels, first, Reels with watermark from TikTok, that's no-go. That's probably the reason that this Reel performed really well. Secondly, in terms of Reels, you should look for inspiration for Reels by taking a look at traveling Reels. Another thing that you can do is you can curate Reels, so you can actually see some local traveling profiles in Australia, look at their most popular Reels and curate them on your page. Of course, if they provide that as a service or if they give you the rights to do that. But Don't use watermark from TikTok. That's a no-go. Instagram made a post about this. In terms of your content, I think that you can create a better content strategy, a balance between what you're doing right now and more helpful content, more educational content in order to live up to your name, which is information for international students, best overseas students guide. I definitely think that there is room for improvement in your content strategy, and that might be the reason you're not growing as fast as you'd like. So I hope that this has been helpful for you guys. I'm not going to be doing any more profile audits today. Having said that, afterwards, I will be doing more profile audits on my page. I will be doing these kinds of Instagram, YouTube lives every 2 weeks or so. So you will have an opportunity to receive these profile audits. Again, if you have questions, specific questions, you can leave them in the chat right now. I will answer them. If you want me to take a look at something in specific again after the YouTube live, you can DM me on Instagram. But right now, if you have any questions, leave them in the chat right now, and let's do a 10-minute Q&A session. 𝗨𝗀𝗂𝗧𝗂𝗧, I remember who you are. Last time I reviewed your account. Please don't be so picky. Respect the fact that other people need to get a chance as well. Respect the fact that you weren't picked because you were late and you didn't participate in the opportunity about comments. Let's all respect each other and let's all try to be as helpful to each other as possible. So if you have any questions, leave them right now and I will be answering them again. If you missed the ability to get your profile audited, don't be sad. I will be doing again these YouTube lives every 2 weeks or so. So you will definitely have a chance. Subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out. Okay. What made you want to start social media marketing? So I started social media marketing 8 years ago. I was 13 at the time and I was exploring different possibilities for business online because I grew up in a family of business people, of entrepreneurs, and that really brought me closer to the entrepreneur lifestyle. But for me, only having one business was boring. I wanted more diversity, and the ability to go into marketing was that my gateway for me to explore different realms, to explore different businesses whilst building my own business. 4 years ago, I built my agency, and ever since then, I've been getting more clients and I have been developing myself. 𝗨𝗀𝗂𝗧𝗂𝗧, in terms of my setup, I can show you right now. So I am utilizing a gimbal right now to hold my phone. I am using a ring light for my main source of light, and I am also utilizing a second light in the background for my RGB light. So this is my setup. It's pretty basic right now. I'm not going to be focusing on making my videos perfect. I'm just going to be focusing on getting content on YouTube, understanding what matters, because for me, if I have banger content, but let's say my camera isn't the best, that isn't that big of a deal. I'm utilizing the camera on my iPhone 12 Pro Max, and that's plenty. In terms of investing in Canva, Canva is a great tool. I definitely believe that it can help you out up to a certain extent. But if you're going to be doing this seriously, if you're going to be chasing, for example, something in graphic design, you need to learn better tools. And better tools, in my perspective, is Photoshop. I'm utilizing Photoshop. And the premium subscription for Photoshop is pricier, but it is worth it in terms of return for investment if you're going in graphic design. If you only want social media content for your business, no need to invest in Photoshop. You can buy Canva Premium and it definitely is worth it. Yeah, 𝗨𝗀𝗂𝗧𝗂𝗧𝗧, you should definitely focus on starting, understanding what type of content works and what type of content doesn't work, and then with time you can upgrade your setup. Figma is also a great tool for content creation. It's super underrated, but in recent years it has gone up in popularity. A great Figma creator is Easy Design Ideas. If you guys haven't checked him out, definitely do so. How to find local hashtags to get local clients? Well, you need to be searching by the keywords that these local hashtags have. So for example, if you are in the Cincinnati area, Ohio, Cincinnati, USA, you need to be searching for Cincinnati, or you need to be searching for Ohio, or you need to be searching for USA. So these more local hashtags. Now, if you want to find local clients, it might not be the best idea to search them only in hashtags. You might also want to play around with finding accounts which are on the local market. So for example, there are accounts which are only providing knowledge in Hindu. There are accounts which are only providing knowledge in Greece, in Greek language. There are accounts which are only providing language in Bulgarian. There are accounts which are only providing value in Spanish. So find these local accounts and interact with their audiences, not with hashtag audiences. This is my advice for finding local clients. Is it easy to learn Photoshop? Currently using Canva, but I think Photoshop would make better posts. I don't think you can make that much better posts with Photoshop rather than Canva. Canva has improved a lot, so, and it will continue improving. So the difference won't be that big in terms of post quality. And unless you're tracing a career in graphic design, Photoshop isn't worth the time you need to invest in order to learn it. It's a pretty handy tool. It's a really powerful tool, but it's hard to learn. In terms of the most difficult thing about growing my page, consistency, especially when I'm not seeing results. In the beginning, because I've grown a lot of different pages, I had an understanding that it won't be easy and it will take a lot of time for me to grow. But even then, when I was seeing 10 people following my page, 30 posts on my 30 likes on my post, I was getting discouraged. So for me, it was super hard to grow in the beginning. It was super hard to deal with the fact that I am actually I have a successful agency and I'm wasting my time on Instagram, investing so much energy, resources, etc. So for me, being consistent and not having expectations was definitely the hardest thing. 3 great tool for video editing. Want to showcase how people can make great content on free tools. 𝗨𝗀𝗃𝗀 is a really great tool. It's browser based, so you don't need to download it as well. So that's a great alternative. Also, most tools which are about video specifically, video editing, most of them are free, but they put watermark, which you need to be ready to either accept it, so you will be able to create a video, but it will have a watermark, or you will have to use another tool and pay just to remove the watermark, which might be cheaper. So, but 𝗨𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃 doesn't put a watermark, it's browser based. Thank you so much for the kind comments, overseas students, Australia. I definitely think that this has been helpful. Yeah, iMovie, again, this is, if you have a Mac, iMovie can be great. I'm utilizing that actually on my iPhone for some easy edits. iMovie, 𝗨𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃, these are the recommendations that I can give. My mother tongue is Bulgarian. Can you provide a guide for programmers to grow on Instagram? No matter if you're in programming, if you're in design, if you're the best information for international students in Australia, the growth is the same. It comes down to 2 main elements. It comes down to traffic and conversions. So you need to drive traffic to your profile, that's profile visits, and you need to convert that traffic into followers, into clients, etc. So the growth for programmers, for international guiders, for marketing people, it's all the same. Draw traffic, convert traffic. So create content that draws traffic, give the kind of engagement you'd like to receive to draw traffic, and then convert it utilizing your content, utilizing your profile. So it's the same techniques, it's the same fundamentals, no matter in which industry you are. Yeah, I will type in the video's names right now. Give me a second. Okay, any more questions, guys? I'm creating my courses in Photoshop. I actually have a YouTube video on the topic, how to create Fire content. I think that was my video title. Top 3 tips for Reels. In terms of Reels, the most important thing for Reels is have a strong hook. So make sure the first 3 seconds capture you in, and then make sure the rest of the reel is optimized for watch time. Watch time is the most important thing for Reels. And the last tip for Reels is make sure you know your boundaries. So the post is shown in 180 by 180, even though that you can record it in 180 by 1920. So you need to focus on that 180 by 190 size and put all your important elements in that box. A lot of people are doing this mistake, and it's such an easy fix. I'm not going to the gym, I'm doing cardio. I'm running every 2 days, around 3 to 5 kilometers. I use FreePic for my images, but I also have a subscription for 𝗨𝗀𝗂 elements. In terms of overcoming anxiety and being good enough, again, you need to come from the perspective and from the point of view of not yourself, but others. Because you are your hardest judge, meaning you're so picky about your content because you can see your failures, bloopers, etc. Whilst everyone else on social media is highlighting the best moments. So first, stop comparing, and secondly, take a look from a point of view which isn't biased, meaning a point of view which isn't you. Ask your friends, gain confidence and motivation that way. Now, this would be it in terms of the live. I will be giving away 3 hours of consultations. Each hour is worth $150. One of the people who has left a message in the chat during the live would get the chance for the consultation. I will pick the winners after the live. I will GM you on Instagram. Most of you have already left your handles. So one of the people who has been in the chat right now and who has left a comment during the whole session will have the ability to win the consultation. Repeated comments do not count. Another way to win the consultation is by leaving why you would like to win a consultation in the chat right now. So one sentence why you would like to win the consultation and how you can how that will help you. You can leave it right now. I will pick one winner right now and tell you who it is. And the third way to win the consultation is actually by leaving a comment after this live has been uploaded on YouTube. So I will be uploading it after it is over. So you can leave a comment there and you have the chance of winning the consultation, and that will be announced in 1 week. So if you're watching this as a replay, you have 1 week after it's published in order to win this $150 worth consultation. So just leave a comment below. It doesn't have to be a special comment. Leave your handle in the comments and you will have the ability to win this consultation after the live is over. So let me know, guys, how would this $150 consultation help you and why I should choose you, and you guys can win the consultation. Okay. I hope that this live has been helpful for you guys. Thank you so much for the patience. Thank you so much for being here. I give you 2 more minutes to leave in the comment box below why you'd like to win this consultation, and I will pick a winner. Again, I will contact the other winner from this live session. So if you have left a comment, you have a chance to win this. And I will be picking one person from the comment sections after this is uploaded as a YouTube video. Okay. So you have 1 more minute, guys. This is your chance to win 1 hour worth of consulting from me and hopefully help you scale your social media and business. I can see so many comments popping in. Thank you guys for your interest. I'm so glad that this has been helpful for you. Thirty more seconds. Regardless if you guys win or not, I want you guys to be 100% sure that I will continue giving back to my community. I'm so grateful for you guys. I'm really grateful for the opportunity that I had today to share, to go in this live, to celebrate my 1 year on Instagram. So thank you so much for being a part of this live. The person who I'm going to be choosing based on their message is Super Tan Tan. So please leave your hand of Super Tan Tan if you haven't, or you have done already. And I will GM you after the live is over. Keep in mind that you guys can, one random person will also win this consultation based on the comments that they have left during the call, during the live. I will pick one winner, so you still have chance to win this consultation. And after I upload it, if you leave a comment, you are going to be participating in the giveaway as well. Thank you so much to everyone. Thank you so much for leaving your comments. Thank you so much for participating. If you didn't get the profile audit, be patient. I will be doing more of these live sessions. Subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss them. If you haven't won the consultation, be patient. You still have 2 chances to win it. Thank you all so much for being a part of my journey. Thank you for being a part of my journey on Instagram as well as on YouTube. I'm super grateful for every single one of you. Thank you. Thank you so much, 𝗨𝘀𝗃𝗀, for the kind words. It have been a really challenging 12 months, but everything is worth it. Thank you, Vikas, for staying tuned. Apologies that I didn't have the chance to review your account. Next time, I hope that you have better luck, and if you have any questions, make sure to GM me. Thank you, Anki, for being here. Thank you, Saho, for also being here. Jakub, Marketing Patan, 𝗨𝗂𝗂𝗧𝗂𝗧. I hope that I pronounce your name right. Thank you all. Have a great rest of your day. And again, make sure to comment on the YouTube video for a chance to win this consultation. Bye bye.